Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Shanti Yoga. We're going to get started in just about a minute. I always like to pop on and just make sure that I'm set up here so you guys can see. Let's go ahead and close this door. Position this just a little bit here. Or for family time, but just allowing the body to rest. And sometimes we need that little bit of transition between work and rest. So that's what we're going to be focusing on this evening. So check in here before we get started. And make my screen a little bigger here. All right. So we are going to start seated briefly. I'm actually going to sit in hero pose with a block. But if this is not comfortable for your knees for any reason, you want to sit, or if you want to sit cross-legged in easy pose, you're welcome to sit as it works for your body, as always. And we'll be transitioning to standing shortly. So oftentimes, I would say generally speaking, it's never an all one way or another way, but when I teach in the morning, I usually like to start slow and kind of gently waking up the body and preparing the body for movement as we start to get energy or to energize the body. Sometimes if I teach in the afternoon, people need a break. I've done corporate classes where you're sitting all day and you just want to start standing just to get yourself in that standing position. And then in the evening, I generally like to start with a little more movement and end a little bit more quiet. So we're going to kind of take that option this evening. But I do want us to center ourselves before we begin. It's always good to check in. So from whatever seated position is comfortable for you, take a moment to either close your eyes or soften your gaze. Begin to turn your gaze inward. Feel all the points of your body that are touching the earth, whether that's the soles of your feet or the tops of your feet if you're sitting like I am, parts of your legs, perhaps your sits bones. And as you breathe in, feel your spine and just notice if you're sitting up nice and tall. If you're starting to slouch, then maybe sit a little taller. If you need to sit on a blanket or a cushion to give yourself that little bit of pelvic tilt so that we're nice and upright and not sitting back into the lower spine. And just notice your thoughts. How was your day? Is there anything on your mind you just want to let go of? How are you feeling emotionally? Just checking in with yourself. Acknowledging our starting point. Notice your breathing. The quality of the breath. And then see if you feel ready to deepen the breath. Is it hard to take a deep breath, or you just feel like it feels good to take that nice deep breath and slowly exhale it out, sighing it out. Take another deep breath in and exhale and sigh it out. One more deep breath. And as you exhale, sigh it out, let go of your day. Bring your attention to the present moment. And you can open your eyes if you feel ready. We're going to just shrug the shoulders up to the ears now as we inhale. And again, exhale through the mouth. Ha, let it go. Deep breath in, shrug the shoulders to the ears. And exhale. Ha. 2 more times. Ha. 1 more time. Ha. And then taking the palms up, take a deep breath in and reach the arms back. Take the thumbs back behind you. Draw the lower ribs in. Maybe look up to the sky. Exhale. Inhale the arms overhead. Maybe the palms touch, and exhale the hands to the heart. Again, take the arms forward. Inhale, open up wide. Exhale. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, hands to your heart. And we're going to do that 1 more time. Inhale, take the arms out to the side, thumbs reaching back, opening through the chest. Exhale. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. And then from here, just warming up the legs a little bit, we're going to just gently lift that right knee up. Actually don't need to sit on a block for this. You might want to take your block out if that's appropriate for you. Sitting up on the heels, lift that right knee. If that doesn't feel right or you were sitting cross-legged, you could actually come into a little bit of a lunge and just stretch the front of that right shin. You could even lift the knee up and stretch it. So either way, you can also just be seated and lifting the knee, stretching through the top of that foot as well. And then switch it out. So gently lower, go to the other side, lifting that left knee up and stretching through the top of the shin, the muscles around the shin bone. Again, if you want to step forward and stretch in more of a lunge, even lifting the knee up, you could do that as well. And then releasing that, go ahead and step back. Tuck your toes under and sit up nice and tall. Interlace the hands, press out, reach to the sky. So my toes are tucked under. If that's a little bit too intense, you could always come up on the knees, if that's okay on your knees. Or you could simply take the hands forward. You won't be able to reach the arms out, obviously, but you could just sit here and stretch the toes a little bit. Otherwise, if you're okay with it, take the arms out, reach up. And exhale the hands down. Inhale to press up. And exhale down. 1 more time. Inhale, press up. And exhale the arms down. Go ahead and take the hands forward. We'll keep those toes tucked. Walk the hands a little bit ahead of the shoulders, the wrists a little bit ahead of the shoulders. And start to see if you can lift your hips up. So it's early on, but if we've been working all day, this might feel good. A little bent knee, downward facing dog. Start to bend one knee or straighten one leg. Keep the other bent and switch. So just switching back and forth, stretching the backs of your legs. This could feel really good if you've been sitting all day. Nothing like a good downward facing dog. If this is too much on your hands or your wrists, you can always come back down. You could just stretch one leg back and get that same stretch in the back of your legs and then the other. Otherwise, you're walking your dog, your downward facing dog. And then as you're ready, we'll go ahead and walk the hands to the feet or the feet to the hands, whichever way you want to get there to forward fold. Walk your hands to your shins and lift halfway. Take a deep breath. Tuck the chin slightly, lengthen through your neck. And exhale and fold down, bending your knees as deep as you need to. Maybe the hamstrings are tight. We haven't done much of a warm up yet, so just let it go. Maybe shake the head no, releasing tension around the neck. You could even give yourself a little massage here at the base of the skull. Let go. Take another deep breath. Rise up halfway. So some of you might be able to do that with your fingertips on the floor, or you could take your hands to the shins. And exhale and fold again. One more time. Shake the head. Imagine lifting your hip points up a little as you breathe in. Look at that stretch in the backs of the legs. And then starting to bend the knees, take the arms out to the side and inhale to rise and exhale your hands to your heart. So I'm going to face you, come back to where you can see me better. Take your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, or maybe if you're on your mat, you can take them as wide as the mat, the narrow part of the mat. And then we're going to do our little swing side to side. So just swinging side to side with the arms. I'm a little too close to the wall here. So you don't want to, if you have a wall behind you, be mindful of that or any furniture around. Let those arms dangle. And you can actually let the back heel lift up as you pivot side to side. And then we're just going to let the arms kind of travel up the body. So swinging side to side, they're going to come a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Breathe deeply here. So you don't have to try to manipulate the breath, just breathing. So they come up to about parallel to the shoulders. We're going to reach a little bit higher. I'm going to have to step forward so I don't hit the wall. Maybe reaching all the way overhead. I know you won't be able to see my hands anymore. Maybe the hands touch. Keep going side to side. And then let go. And we'll start to come back down. Swinging side to side. That nice twist. And come back to center. Step the feet in. From here, we're going to do a little breathing exercise. So we're going to inhale the arms overhead. And I'm going to show you from the side first. Then I'll do it facing you. As you exhale, you're going to bend the knees and just let go. Ha. Exhale through the mouth. Let out that ha as the arms come down to the sides. So bending the knees deeply, your hips go back. Make sure you're not forward. So we'll do that a few times. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, ha. 2 more. Ha. Ha. Stay there. Let go of the hands. Let the head hang again. Forward fold, Uttanasana. As you breathe in, try to lift those hip points a little bit higher. Maybe walk a little bit side to side. So you can sort of twist a little bit side to side. Come back to center. Bend those knees deeply. Take the arms up to the side and inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Mountain pose. Check in. Take a moment. You can close your eyes if you like. You don't have to. But just check in and notice how you feel. And then from here, let's go ahead and step the right leg behind the left. I'm not mirroring today. And the right arm is going to reach over your ear. Left arm can just kind of come underneath. So it's as if the left is going to the right and the right arm is going to the left. Big side stretch. Breathe in. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Feel that sensation from the top of the hip to your fingertips. Inhale to come back up. Step the feet apart and switch sides. Left leg behind the right. Left arm reaches over your ear. Big breath in. Take a couple breaths here. Don't hold your breath. And come back to center. Let that go. Moving through a couple of half sun salutations now. So remember, I said we're going to move a little bit first. I'm going to come back a little so you can see me. Actually, I'm going to face you first. So just like we did when we were kneeling, inhale, take the arms out, thumbs back, lift from the sternum, maybe look up to the sky. If it feels okay for you, you could even lean back a little bit. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, take the hands behind you now, stacking one on top of the other and forward fold. Let the head go. Then inhale, lift halfway. Bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, bend the knees, chair pose. Inhale, reach to the sky, and exhale, hands to your heart. Again, we're going to inhale, open the arms wide, look up, maybe lean back if that's okay for you. Exhale and fold. Other hand on top. Hands are stacked to your lower back. Let go and fold. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to your shins. Exhale, bend the knees deeply, arms to the sides. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. 2 more times. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, the first hand stacks on top of the other. Forward fold. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins and lift halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, chair pose. Inhale to rise. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, open wide. Lift up, maybe look up. Exhale, the second hand is on top, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to your shins. Exhale, bend those knees, seat sits back. And inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Notice how you feel. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, so from here, let's move through a couple of sun salutations, continuing to warm up. Walk to the top of your mat if you're not already. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. As you exhale, step your right foot back, right knee down. Untuck those toes, look forward. If you want to hang out here for a little bit, you can. We're going to take these sun sals nice and slow, getting a little bit of stretch in there. As you're ready to inhale, reach the arms up, press through that front foot, maybe lean back, find that nice lunge. Exhale the hands down, step the left foot back, downward facing dog. Let your head hang, sink your heels down. Lift your hips up, push the floor away. Take time to be in the pose, feel it. Inhale forward to a plank pose, shift the hips forward, keep the belly engaged. You can always take your knees down to the floor if you need to. Exhale, we're going to come down with the chin, the chest, knees down, look forward, and then all the way to your belly. Hands under your shoulders, inhale into a cobra pose, elbows in. Oh, that feels so good. Take your time, feel it, notice. Exhale, draw the belly to the spine, tuck the toes, lift into downward facing dog. And let's hang out here for a couple of breaths, at least 3 to 5 breaths. Lift the hips up, push the floor away. Hug the outer arms, the triceps, back and apart. If this is too much, at any time, bring your knees down into child's pose. When you're ready, let's lift that right leg up and back and stretch. Maybe even come up onto the ball of the left foot today. Exhale, bend the knee, draw the knee into the chest. Step it forward. Come back to the lunge, bring the left knee down. Inhale to rise. Lunge. Low lunge. Maybe let the palms touch if you like. Reach a little higher. Exhale, hands down, tuck the back toes, step forward, and inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Sink the hips down, press or back, press down through your feet, inhale to rise, and exhale, hands to your heart. Other side, take those arms forward and reach out, open up, inhale. Exhale, arms come down, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, and exhale, step the left foot back, left knee down. Inhale to rise. Pause, hold, breathe. Exhale the hands down, tuck the back toes, step back, downward facing dog. Let it go. Inhale forward to a plank pose or knees down. When you're ready, exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale into your cobra or maybe an up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Hang out here for a few breaths. If you're tired, knees down, child's pose. Always an option. Breathe. One more breath. Then lift that left leg up behind you as you inhale. Maybe come up onto the ball of the right foot. That's an option. Exhale the heel down. Draw that knee into your chest. Step that leg forward. Right knee down. Inhale. Lunge. Reach a little higher. Exhale, arms down. Tuck the back toes. Step forward. Inhale. Lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips back. Inhale to rise and exhale, hands to your heart. Pause, mountain pose. Notice how you feel. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. As you breathe out, engage that lower belly. Draw the belly in. Arms to your side. Start to lift your right knee. Find balance there. Stork pose. Inhale the arms overhead. See if you can maintain that balance. Press down through the left foot. Draw the belly in. Exhale the hands to the heart. Step your right foot back. Find a high lunge. Lift from the sternum. Make sure your knee is supported by your shin and your ankle. Reach the arms to the sky if you like. Exhale, hands to your heart. When you're ready, we're going to lift off from that back leg and step all the way back to stork. Inhale, arms. And exhale. Bring that foot down. So, other side, grounding down to that right foot, engage your belly. Big breath in, draw the belly in as you exhale, lift the left knee. Inhale, arms overhead. See if you can maintain that balance. Exhale, hands to your heart. Step the left foot back. Find high lunge. Adjust the right leg if you need to. Maybe the foot a little to the right, or make sure the knee's in line with the ankle. Inhale the arms to rise. High lunge. And exhale, hands to your heart. Step the back leg back up into that stork pose if you can. If you need to pause and step it down, you can. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release it. March the legs for a little bit. Okay. Now, from here, arms to the side. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, just as if we're going to go back into a sun salutation. Inhale, lift halfway. Bring the right leg up and back and step it back into a lunge. Bring the right knee down. Inhale to rise. Exhale the hands down. Now, you might want to have blocks here. You don't have to, they're not required, but if you are dumping down into your hands, it can be helpful to have the blocks to support you. So from here, we're going to start to shift the weight back. Notice my hips are shifting back. We're going to straighten the front leg, I was going to say the first leg, the front leg into Ardha Hanumanasana. So that half split, stretching the back of that leg, flex the foot. As you inhale, look forward, lift your sternum. You can stay here. You could even be on the highest level with your blocks. As you exhale, see if you have space to hinge forward a little bit more. Some of you that are very flexible might be able to bring your forehead closer to your shin, but no worries if that's you. Just, you can stay, as I said, on the highest level. But keep that front foot flexed, engaging the muscles in the front of that leg. And then slowly shift forward onto your left foot, tuck your back toes. We're gonna see if you have the option to step together to mountain pose, but let's see if we can step up all the way into this version of almost not quite a split. We're not bringing the head to the knee, just looking forward. And then step it down. Inhale, lift halfway. You could always have your blocks. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to rise. And exhale, hands to your heart. So we'll do the other side. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale and fold. Lift the left leg up and back. Step it back. Left knee comes down. Find your low lunge again. Inhale to rise. Exhale, bringing the hands down as you're ready. Maybe using the blocks. We're going to start to shift the weight back, shift the hips back, peel those toes up, flex the front foot, Ardha Hanumanasana. Breathe. Stretching the back of that leg. Inhale, lift your sternum, look forward. As you exhale, if you have space, you can fold any amount. Notice the sensation in the back of your left leg. And of course, keeping the foot flexed, also engaging the muscles around your shin. And then we'll shift the weight forward, tuck the back toes. See if we can lift all the way back up to that standing forward fold with one leg back. So we're not quite in a standing split. And then bring it down. Go ahead, bend both knees, coming to squat balance. Breathe. Maybe you can bring your hands to your heart. And inhale to rise. Shake it out. Shake it out. Mountain pose. So from here, we're going to go ahead and take a wide leg stance on our mat. So find your wide leg stance, 5-pointed star, even reaching the arms out to the sides. Breathe. You can turn the palms up, reaching the thumbs back. Again, let's take that nice big breath in, reaching the thumbs back, maybe even looking up if that's okay for your neck. And as you exhale, hinge forward. Take a little forward fold. Let your head go. If it feels good for you, you could shift side to side a little bit, inner and outer, inner thighs, outer hips. Notice sensation that you feel. And when you're ready, bring the hands to your waist or out to the sides and inhale to come all the way back up and exhale the hands to the heart. From here, just allow the hands to rest at your waist. We're going to take the left toes out and start to turn the right toes in. So we might have to step the right foot forward a little bit and start to bend the left knee. We're going to find warrior two pose, making sure that knee stays aligned with the ankle. Taking your right arm, the left hand can rest on your thigh or at your waist, and we're just going to circle that arm up and back. Forward, up, back and down. And you can allow your gaze to follow the arm, circling. And I'm not counting, so no idea how many we did. You can count for me. Bring that hand behind you now, the back of that thigh, and inhale the left arm up, a little reverse warrior. And left forearm to left thigh, reach the right arm over your ears, side angle pose, stretching from the outer edge of your right foot through your fingertips. If you want to come into this posture deeper, you could bring the right arm behind you, left arm down, maybe come into a bind tonight, or left hand down inside that left foot, reaching the right arm to the sky. Any version you want. But notice that wherever you are, whether you're in the bound pose or here, circle my arm back around, you have to come back up. So we're going to inhale and come all the way back to warrior two, maybe sink a little deeper. You could try to lift that front heel if you like. And big breath in, straighten the front leg, exhale. Heel toe your back foot in a little bit now. And then right hand to the waist again. Reach with the left arm, lengthening the left side of your body. The left hand's going to come down. Maybe it touches the floor. Maybe you use a block, but keep the left leg straight and reach the right arm up to the sky. And again, you have an option here to look up towards your thumb, gaze forward, or down towards your foot. Breathe. Notice if you're trying so hard to reach the floor that you're sort of swinging forward. And if so, try to stay in line with this left leg and left foot as you reach up to the sky. That might mean that you come up a little bit higher. Don't go so low. You could even use a piece of furniture here, like a chair or something to hold on to. And as we come up, you can make it a little harder by taking that left arm out and come back to warrior two, bend the front knee. And straighten that leg again. Turn your left toes in. Come back to both toes forward into your wide leg stance. And take a pause before we do the other side. So just notice. As we transition, we're going to take the right toes out now. Left toes maybe in a little bit. Start to bend the knee. If you feel like you need more space between the legs this way, maybe you step that left foot forward a little or take the right foot over to the right. Finding your warrior two pose, resting the right hand on your thigh, and we'll start to circle that left arm. So taking it down, inhale up and back. We're going in one direction. So circling backwards. You can allow your gaze to follow. So just keeping that shoulder open, moving through the full range of motion. And we'll do one more circle. Bring that left hand down to the left thigh. Reach the right arm over your ear. Little reverse warrior. And come back to your center. And then finding side angle. So forearm to the thigh. Sweeping the left down up and over your ear. Pause and breathe. If you want to take another version, again, you have the option simply to bring the arm behind you. Half bind. One hand to the floor, one hand up. Or the full bind. But be careful. Some people try to take this full bind and they just end up swinging forward and kind of looking down. So the object is to keep the chest open here. Otherwise, you're not really doing side angle pose. And whichever one of those postures you're in, as you feel ready, inhale, come all the way back up. Straighten that front leg. Shorten the distance now. Heel toe the back. Foot in a little bit. Left hand to the waist. Reach with that right arm until you can't go any farther and bring it down inside the leg or to a block. Stretch the left arm up to the sky and take your gaze where it feels most comfortable for you. So looking down, maybe stretching the back of your neck a little bit. I've had a sore neck for a couple of days, I think from sleeping funny, if you ever do that with your pillow and then you just have that crick in your neck. So looking up doesn't feel great for me on this side. I'm just going to look forward. But check in with yourself and see what feels right for you. And then as you're ready, if you want to make it a little harder, take that right arm out. Inhale, come all the way up. Bend the front knee. One more warrior two. Maybe lift the heel. Come a little deeper. So sometimes in the evening we feel like we have more powers than in the morning. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands to the heart. Turn both feet forward. Usually our body is a little more warmed up. I know my morning practice looks nothing at all like this. So relax the shoulders and breathe. Inhaling arms out to the sides. Let's take the left arm down and reach the right arm over your ear. One more side stretch. Come back to center. Right arm down, left arm over your ear. Nice big stretch. And come back to the center. So now we're going to turn, take the right arm towards the left foot. Maybe grab that ankle and take the left arm up to the sky. If that's too much for you, just bring the right hand down to the floor and take the left arm up. And if it's still too far away, use your block. So you've got 3 options. Otherwise, taking the hand to the ankle, you can also take the left arm behind you. Release back to center and wiggle the hips side to side. Arms out to the side. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. We'll go to the other side, so open the arms out. Inhale. As you exhale, reach the left hand to the right ankle, or again, if that's too far, just take it to the floor, to a block, and reach the right arm up, coming into that twist. But notice the sensation in your twist. So you're twisting from the middle of the spine. Engage your belly, whichever version you're in. The hips a little bit side to side. Inhale, lift halfway, and as you exhale, let your head go again and just fold. If you want to walk your hands through your legs, you can, or just to the ankles, whatever feels good for you. Breathe. Take another deep breath in and sigh it out. Ha. Maybe do a lion's breath. Sticking out your tongue as you exhale. Ha. And I know you can't see mine now, so I can stick my tongue out. And I can't see yours either, so just let it go. Let it all out. Now, pressing down with those feet. Inhale, come all the way back up, and exhale the hands to your heart. Turn your heels in and your toes out. We're going to come into a little bit of a plie, or some call it temple pose. So making sure that the hips stay aligned with the shoulders. It doesn't have to be a deep plie. Breathe in, lift from your sternum. Exhale, belly is engaged. Maybe lift one heel. Left heel and down, and right heel. Down, maybe lift both heels, maybe reach up to the sky, draw that belly in, straighten the legs, bring the heels down, and exhale the hands to the heart. Turn the toes in, step the feet hip width apart, come back to your mountain pose, and breathe. Notice how you feel. Okay, we're going to come back to the top of our mats. And from here, find your mountain pose. Take another breath or two. I do not have my timer with me, so I'm just going to check in on our time. Okay, we're good. So, from our mountain pose, let your arms come down to your sides. We're going to inhale, just as we did earlier, reach to the sky, and exhale and fold. Inhale, lift halfway. You can always have the blocks here if you want. Lift the right leg up and back. Exhale, step it back. This time, maybe taking your blocks if you need to. Inhale into your high lunge. Find that sense of balance one more time. Exhale, bring the hands down to the blocks. Step forward. You can take your blocks forward. Come back to that sort of We weren't quite into the standing split, but now we're going to stay here. This is almost like a modified warrior 3. And as you exhale, if you like, walk the blocks in, start to bring your nose towards your knee, come into that standing split. Some of you might be able to grab your ankle. I'm not going to do that. Don't force anything, never force anything. But everybody is different. If you tend to hyperextend, keep a little bend in your knee. When you're ready to let go of this, step the right foot behind the left, bring the knee down, and we're going to come into a seated twist. And if you didn't quite get all of that, so bringing the knee down right inside of the left heel. If you need to readjust, no worries. Nobody saw you. You only saw yourself. Step that left foot across a little bit more on the outside of the right thigh. If you need to, if this is not comfortable with the knee, you could straighten the right leg as well. We're going to come into Ardha Matsyendrasana, so seated twist. And I'm going to face you in a minute just so you can see, but taking the left hand behind you, inhale the right arm to the sky. As you exhale, reach across, maybe take the elbow to the outside of that knee, and I'm sorry I'm turning away from you. You could also wrap your arm around the knee, drawing it to the midline. Sit a little bit taller and exhale and draw your belly in. So if I'm facing you, it's going to look like this. If you like, if the elbow is on the outside of the knee, you can also take the thumb to the third eye and just put a little gentle pressure there. Starting to come down now from the practice. And releasing that. Now, if you're in Ardha Matsyendrasana, you're going to stack the knees, bringing the left heel a little closer to your right hip. If your front leg was straight, that's fine. It can stay there. You're going to come into half Gomukhasana. So again, stacking the knees, sitting up really tall. We're going to come towards a forward fold. So if you have a strap and you want to grab that, strap it around your foot, you could do that. Otherwise, if you're in the full Gomukhasana, taking your hands to your feet or to the floor, whatever is more comfortable for you. We always start lifting up. So we're going to lift from the sternum. As you exhale, start to hinge from your hips, maybe walking the hands forward and maybe just kind of hanging out here. If you have a block and you're able to come forward a little bit more, breathe, maybe come forward a little bit more. Maybe you can rest your forehead on that block. And of course, if you have two blocks, you can stack one on top of the other, one flat and one tall, and bring it closer to your forehead. Take your hands where it feels good, maybe ahead of you, maybe on the feet, maybe behind you. So just try it out. As you're ready, inhale, lifting back up. How are we going to get out of this? So we're going to take that leg back to foot on the floor and start to take the counter twist. So twisting towards your right now, opening up. Now we're going to take both hands to the floor and start to lift the hips up. So we're going to turn ourselves around and come into a downward facing dog. And I'm sorry, I have my butt to you. So I'm going to walk around this way, but you just stay in your downward facing dog. And breathe. And then looking forward to your hands, you can walk your feet forward. If you still have a lot of energy in you, you can bend your knees and maybe take a little hop. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. And get your blocks ready. We have to do the other side. Inhale to rise and exhale, hands to your heart. Pause. Noticing if one side is a little different than the other. Now, let's see if we can remember what we did. Take those arms down to the side. Inhale and rise. And exhale and fold. Inhale, lift halfway. We're going to take the left leg up and back. As you exhale, start to bring your nose towards your knees. You can walk the blocks back. Maybe get a little bit closer. Some of you might have your hands to your ankle, whatever feels good for you, however you're used to doing it. When you've had, your leg also might be a lot higher than mine. This is not my favorite pose. So as you're ready, you're going to take a little bend in this knee and start to bring that left knee down behind the right heel and sit back. If that seemed really impossible, you can always just come back down to the floor and fix yourself into Matsyendrasana, which basically is stepping the left foot across, bending your right knee and bringing that right heel to the right glute. So we're going to turn the opposite direction now. Taking the right hand behind you. Inhale the left arm to the sky. Exhale, reach across, reach across. Find that twisted posture. Breathing in, lift up nice and tall from the spine, and exhale, engage that belly, draw it inward. Maybe rest the thumb on the forehead. Take a couple breaths here. Notice the stretch in the left hip. Notice whatever you're noticing right now. And then release. We'll go ahead and stack the knees coming into Gomukhasana. Remember that the right leg can always be forward, in which case you're going to take half Gomukhasana and forward fold. Otherwise, with the legs stacked, sitting up nice and tall, you can have your blocks. Like I mentioned, if you have two, you can stack them, making it higher. But we start first lifting from the sternum, and then exhale and start to hinge forward. Resting the forehead on the block. Breathe. Notice your breath, perhaps beginning to slow back down. And then slowly inhale, lift all the way back up. Coming out of this, we're going to bring the sole of the right foot back to the floor, turning in the opposite direction. So taking that little counter twist. And then we're going to start to take our hands to the floor and get back up. So lifting your hips up and taking that little twist or pivot with the feet. And again, I don't want to have my butt to the camera. So I'm going to turn around and face the other direction in my downward facing dog. Last downward dog of the day. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you're ready, bring those knees down. Take the knees as wide as the mat, toes together, and sink back into your child's pose. Again, you could use a block for your head here. Maybe your forehead comes all the way down to the mat or to stacked hands. If you still have a little upper body tension, you can always take the arms out, reaching forward, or bending the elbows, taking prayer hands and reaching the thumbs to the base of your skull or even your neck. Then perhaps taking the left elbow forward, the right elbow forward, just a couple centimeters more. Feel the stretch in the triceps. Breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. And let go. Releasing as you feel ready, walk yourself back up. You can bring the legs forward. We're going to come onto our backs. Finally, right? Hands to the side. And you know, I'm about ready to settle down. So I don't want to do a big energizing back bend. For me, I'm just going to lift my hips up and place a block underneath to hold them into a little bridge pose. So feel free to come into a restorative bridge with your blocks. If you don't have blocks and you want to do a more active bridge pose, you can. If you've got it in you and you want to come into wheel pose, I mean, it can actually help. It's very energizing, but it can help to bring you down if you feel like you've got more energy in you that you want to kind of get out so that you can then relax. Feel free to come into a wheel pose if that's in your practice. I'm just going to stay right here with this nice restorative bridge for a few breaths, lengthening the neck. Letting some of that blood come back to the heart, letting the head be lower than the heart. So technically an inversion. And then because I have my hips nice and supported on the block, I'm going to start to bend my knees in and straighten both legs up to the ceiling. So I'm coming into this modified shoulder stand. Feel free to, if you're near a wall, you could do legs up the wall. You could come into a version of a 3/4 shoulder stand. I'm not teaching shoulder stand tonight. If you have a block, you could just come as I am. Even without a block, you could just take your legs up into the air just to be inverted. So the block helps because it's going to lift your hips up higher than your heart. Again, contraindications, acid reflux. So hopefully if you just ate a meal, do not do this pose. It's not for glaucoma. High blood pressure, you may not want to be in this posture either, specifically if it's not treated or if you feel any discomfort. It can be really helpful if your legs are tired or you tend to have swelling around the ankles. Just getting those feet up. Of course, you could do a milder version with your legs on a chair or a sofa. It's nice to just give our feet a break at the end of the day and also prepare ourselves for rest. As you feel ready, go ahead, bend your knees, bring your feet back to the floor, lift the hips up if you've got a block underneath, and take it out. Gently bring the hips back down. You can take the feet as wide as your mat, let the knees fall together. And then let's end with a final twist tonight. So slightly shifting your hips over to the right, let your knees drop over to the left. Keep your right shoulder down, right arm out to the side. Coming into that final twist. As we settle in and settle down. And then bringing the knees back up. We're going to recenter the hips. Take your hips over to the left a little more and let the knees fall to the right. So it just makes a little space for the knees to come over. Keep your left shoulder down. Find the twist on the other side. Of course, if the knees don't come together or if they don't quite reach this floor, you can always place a block or a pillow underneath. And then as you feel ready, gently bring the knees back up. Recenter those hips so you don't feel lopsided or off kilter. Go ahead and hug your left knee in and straighten your right leg. Give it a nice squeeze. Inhale the arms overhead, straighten both legs. Exhale and hug that right knee in. Reach the left leg away. Inhale the arms overhead, straighten both legs. Exhale both arms down. Notice what you need to get comfortable here. So if you need a blanket under your head for a pillow, roll blanket under the knees, whatever you need. Once you get comfortable, settle in. Feel all the points of contact between your body and the floor. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let those points of contact become heavier. As you breathe in, allow the body to spread like water. And as you breathe out, sink in a little bit deeper. Feel that sense of letting go, tension, worry, stress. Allow the breath to carry it away. Just like waves washing over you and washing through you. Notice your breath. Feel the pulse and the rhythm of the breath. Maybe feel your heartbeat. Feel your body in space, tracing the outline of the body, the mind. Feel the space in front of the body and the space behind the body. Space to the left of the body. Space to the right of the body. Space below the body. And space above the body. Feel the space within the body. inside the body. Feel the space outside the body. And notice what separates the inside from the outside. Let your awareness go in all directions at once. And breathing in and breathing out. Bring attention and awareness to the breath. Feel the air as it enters and leaves your nose. The temperature of the room. Notice any sounds outside the room. Take another deep breath. And as you exhale, release the breath out to the edges of the body. Begin to gently wiggle the fingers and the toes. Take all the time you need. If you want to rest here longer, you certainly can. If you're ready to move out of this practice, start to roll to one side. And when you feel completely grounded, begin to walk yourself back to a seated position. Finding a comfortable seat. And bringing the index finger to the thumb, curling the other fingers in. Rest your hands face down in your lap. Keeping the gaze inward. Notice if anything has shifted or changed in the body, the mind, or the breath. The thoughts, the feelings and emotions, sensations. And then bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Take a deep breath in and exhale it out. We'll end the practice tonight with the sound of Om. Feel free to join me inhaling. Namaste. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the practice, and I hope you have a good evening. Take care.